What is up, y'all? Welcome to this episode of the Elden Ring Quick Platinum Guide. This will be the final episode, and we are going to start things off by fighting probably the hardest boss in the game, and that would be Malenia. So to do that, we're going to warp here to the Halig Tree Root Site of Grace. And there are several things that make this fight difficult. First thing being that she recovers health anytime that she hits you or your summon. And that's even if you're blocking with your shield and absorbing 100% of the damage. She still heals every single hit. And that makes this fight very difficult. She also has some attacks that are very powerful and tough to dodge. First thing is once you go through here, there's going to be a cutscene that plays. I'm going to skip it. But right after the cutscene, you want to run away from her because she's going to attack you immediately. Once you clear enough distance between you and her, she kind of becomes way less aggressive. As you can see, she's not coming after me at all. So this is where I'm going to summon my Mimic. And subsequent attempts, however, once you walk through the fog, there's going to be quite a bit of distance between you and her. That cutscene's not going to replay. And you can summon right away. Now, the way that I like to handle this is I like to kind of get her stun locked in a combo between me and my Mimic attacking. You see that she staggers pretty easily. She's also susceptible to bleed. You know, if you can get her kind of stun locked, that's going to help you out greatly. Once you get about 1/3 of her health down in her first phase, she's going to go airborne and do an attack called Waterfowl Dance, which is this massive flurry of successive attacks, which will do it'll kill you if you're not blocking. So what I like to do is I like to, if I see her doing it right there, like I did right there, I took my shield out and started blocking immediately. But fortunately, there she went after Mimic. Now the problem is that she does a lot of damage, and then she also recovers a lot of health because of that. She just took a bleed there. And really the only way to knock her out of that attack is if you can trigger a status effect while she's in the air. So whether you get lucky and happen to trigger a bleed, or if you have like a freeze pot or something along those lines, which we don't have access to in this playthrough because we haven't gotten that recipe book, it's going to be very difficult to manage that attack. Let's see, we just got another critical here, and we're close to getting her to second phase. She might do Waterfowl Dance again though, so be careful. That dash attack is pretty powerful. There we go. We got her second phase. So second phase, there's going to be another cutscene. Right after the cutscene, make sure you unlock from her and just run straight underneath her. She's going to dive bomb, and she'll miss you as long as you run underneath her. And so that blossom, if you run into it, you're going to get Scarlet Rotted right off the bat. So wait for that blossom to go away so you don't get Scarlet Rotted. But then once it's kind of safe, just charge in and start wailing on her as best you can. Her second phase, she is much more aggressive, and she also has attacks that do Scarlet Rot damage. So you got to be careful of that. And she also has her Waterfowl Dance move, which she's doing right now. Fortunately, again on Mimic, but Mimic is almost dead. So, you know, we're kind of on the clock here because it's really hard to beat her solo. We'll see how it goes though. So she's doing this attack. For this attack, you want to run as far away from her as you can. Because these things will kind of teleport and hit you from afar. You'll miss those hits though if you're far enough away from her. Now it looks like I'm on my own here. Mimic is dead, so we'll see how this goes. Mimic absorbed 2 full Waterfowl Dances, which was which depleted his health quite a bit. So we'll see if I can pull this off. If not, it's going to take another go. But you see how much more aggressive she is in her second phase. She gives you no breaks in her second phase. And not very many openings to hit her either. Right when I think I have an opening to hit her, she goes airborne and does another attack. I'm trying to run away from her so I can get a heal. Alright, let's see if I can get a hit here. Trying to bait her attacks to see what she's doing so I can respond to her appropriately. Go, can get a jump attack here. Maybe a special if I'm lucky. Got lucky that didn't hit me. All right, that was a decent combo there. Trying to get a stagger if I can. That would be nice. Uh-oh. I thought that was going to be Waterfowl Dance. I was very lucky that it wasn't. Any minute now, she's probably going to do her dive bomb attack again. And again for that, yep, there it goes. Unlock and run right underneath her and you'll miss it. So that was pretty solid. I'm going to use my blue flask here for extra FP. I'm going to rush in, try to get some hits before she recovers, and hope for the best here. I got a little greedy there. Do a jump attack here. There we go, got my stagger, and that does it. Whew. That was a little bit dicey, especially since my Mimic died when he did. She did a lot of waterfowl dances on him, which was very disadvantageous to me, but you know, he did tank a lot of damage, which is why he died so quickly. So, you know, oftentimes he will last longer to the fight, which is very helpful when he does, but in that case he didn't. But we still managed to survive, so I will take the win there for sure. Very difficult fight. I mean, if that takes you 10 tries, I mean, the first time I fought Malenia, it took me, I think I went back and counted, I went back and looked at the streams, it took me about 25 hours to kill her, but that was without a summon, so different story. But anyway, very difficult boss, and kudos when you beat her, because it is a hard fought win for sure. But you get a ton of runes for your trouble, and so as I said, I'm splitting the rest of these between strength and dex. So all right, now that we got Malenia in our rear view mirror, we are going to go to pretty much the end game. That's all we have left in front of us. So to do that, what we have to do here is warp back to Landell, the capital of Ash, and we're pretty much just going to hit up the last few bosses of the game here, and hopefully all goes well. So where we want to go here is pretty much we're going to the same place where we fought Morgott the first time we were in the capital. So where we're headed is just kind of straight in front of us. We're headed sort of south-ish, past where that giant spear is in the ground there. And there's going to be a staircase that takes us up to the last slate of bosses. And why not? Maybe the game's trying to tell me something. Maybe I should actually use a rune arc here. Activate that great rune. Get 5 additional levels in every category for free, which is pretty nice. Well, not for free. I'd use a rune arc for it, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so here we go. This is going to be our first boss that we fight. Once we go up this elevator. And we are about to fight Sir Gideon Ofnir. So we didn't really talk to him in our playthrough, but if you play the game normally, you'd be talking to him quite a bit, most likely, and you'd recognize who this is. He's pretty much a chump. Once you can summon, and then just wail on him. Put him in his place.
What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, she'll take the throne. I guess that happens for us. We continue to struggle. What is eternity?
And yes, he will basically just spam magic at you. And he did get his one heal off, but it did not help him much. He can only heal the one time. And that is Sir Gideon Ofnir. Not much of a problem.
A man cannot kill a god.
All right, so we get his armor. We'll probably get another level out of the deal or two, maybe. We'll see. All right, there we go. And so we've got 3 bosses left. And 2 of them are fought back to back. But it's the same pathway as before. We got to go up this route here. Then right around to where we fought Morgott before, which is up there. And this beacon, I have a beacon on my map that's driving me nuts. I have no idea where it is, so I'm just going to lay random beacons here to reset the numbering and then clear them all. There we go. We don't really need this, but it was right there, so I picked it up. And there we have the Flaming Erd Tree right in front of our faces. But we have to get through a boss first before we can get inside. We are going to fight the real version of Godfrey. We fought his golden incantation before. Skip the cutscene, kind of run back, dodge this first attack, and then summon Mimic. I had to dodge out of the way of that, but that's fine. Wait for Mimic to get the aggro, and then I'm going to kind of double team him. Whoop. There we go. And he has a lot of earth-based, earthquake-type attacks. His moveset is very similar to his moveset the first time we fought him, but he, of course, is a bit stronger. And at half health, he will transform to his next phase, which is very different from this phase. He basically turns into a WWE type wrestler with suplexes and power bombs and all sorts of nonsense. So he's about to transform any second here. There we go. So as with this first phase, run away. He's going to come right after you. And that's his power bomb attack. If you don't get away from it, he's like throws you up into the air and power bombs you, and it's actually pretty funny, but don't want to get hit by it. And that up there's another one of his. Yeah, I just did get power bombed. It's all good. All right, hopefully he takes out the rest of his rage on Mimic. There we go. He's almost dead. Oh no, I'm getting power bombed again. That's awesome. That's just fine, though. Now he's about to do his big roar attack. This one you gotta kind of jump over like the shockwaves, and he does a big... yeah. Oh, now he's power bombing Mimic. At least with this boss, he doesn't recover his health every time he hurts you, so there's that. Definitely an easier fight than Malenia. Alright, so we get his remembrance, we get his trophy, and a bunch of runes. So I'm going to use the rest of the remembrances that I have here for the runes. And then I'm going to level up as much as I can. And all we got left is the last 2 bosses. You fight them back to back. You actually have to beat them both, and you have no time to rest in between. Can be difficult to do, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it ain't so bad. All right, so let's see. What we also want to do is, since we really don't care about levels anymore, I'm going to take off the gold scarab, and I'm going to put on the Haligdrake Talisman +2 that we got down in Mogwin's Palace, because the next couple bosses do a ton of holy-based damage, and that Haligdrake Talisman +2 is going to do us a lot of good in negating that holy damage. So once you walk through this door here, you're gonna immediately get into the fight against the last 2 bosses. You fight them back to back. The first one is Radagon, and again, you want to summon immediately once the fight starts, because he will charge at you and cause you all kinds of problems, and it'll be very difficult to get your summon off unless you do it right at the very beginning of the fight. So summon immediately, and then at this point it's going to be kind of dodging his attacks until, or not until Mimic goes after him. There we go. And a lot of his attacks have an AoE. Sometimes the AoE kind of lingers and the floor sort of explodes. And he does a lot of attacks with his hammer, obviously. And he has those magic attacks, that spear. You see the ground kind of blows up after the spear hits the ground. And that Howling Drake talisman is helping me out immensely because all of these attacks are pretty much holy based. So again, a huge AoE associated with that attack. So here he's going to hit the ground 3 times, and it's going to create a huge wave on the ground that you're going to want to jump over all 3 times so you don't take the damage. I'm trying to keep Mimic at half health, at least, so he's alive for the next fight too, but he's doing all right. Not in the best shape, but not in horrible shape either. And this should do him in. There we go, got him. All right, so it's not time to rest easy. We're going straight into a second fight here, but I think we're in pretty good shape. We have more than half of our healing left, and Mimic has more than half of his health left. So now we're about to fight the Elden Beast. So this guy is a big blob that shoots huge rays of holy energy. But the thing is he's actually pretty fast, and he moves around the area pretty quickly. And so a lot of the time you spend chasing after him, which can get a little bit annoying. But sort of similar to Dragon Lord Placidusax, I like to kind of stay towards his back and just kind of wail on him with my specials as much as I can. We did get a stagger there, so I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity for a critical hit there. And while he stays here, I'm gonna just kind of wail on him with my special. He's doing an attack now where he's shooting these arrows at me, and you just kind of got to run away from that. I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to put my Physic Flask on. And as I said, he moves around a lot, and sometimes he happened to move right back next to me, which was very fortunate. But then I got hit. So this attack, he puts rings on the ground. Oh, he did it to Mimic, but if he does it to you, you have to run towards the rings and jump over them and get outside that force field. Otherwise, you're gonna get hit. So now he's all the way on the other side, and now I've got to chase after him, and he's doing more of his energy holy beam attacks. And so I'm going to chug my blue flask while I'm at it. Let's see. Okay, so he's doing the triple ring now. So if this goes around me, I'm going to have to do 3 jumps over these rings. He did it to Mimic again. So again, if that were to me, I'd have to run and jump over those 3 rings, get outside the force field that's about to blow up. Let's see. I just got to run back to the Elden Beast and hopefully get some hits. Gonna have to dodge a sword here, which I failed to do, but that's okay. Did manage to dodge through those other hits and get to him. So more specials until he's dead. I'm gonna heal here, just for safety. Oh no! He killed me. All right. Man, that was tragic. Look at that. Oh, that would have been, if Mimic had gotten the kill there, I think that would have counted for me, but oh well. So I'm going to cut straight to the Elden Beast fight, and I'll see you guys there. All right, here's the ring attack. Is it going to go after me or Mimic? We are almost done with this fight, fortunately, and the 3 rings went after me this time, so this is how you get out of it. You got to jump over the rings and then get out of the force field before it goes out. Before it goes off like that. You see Mimic got hit by it, but fortunately I was outside of the blast radius before it went off. I'm going to heal up real quick. And as I said, Elden Beast and Radagon are a package deal. So to get back here, I did have to beat Radagon again. Just be cognizant of that you have to beat them both in a row with no break in between. It's just how the game works. Them's the rulers, unfortunately. I think that's the attack that killed me last time, so don't want to make the same mistake twice, especially since he's almost dead again. So more of the same, just kind of chasing him around. And he did kill Mimic, so I am on my own now, but that's fine. Get out of that kind of blast that he just put off. Get a special off, and hopefully he stays still for long enough for me to hit him a couple times. All right, so this attack I'm going to have to just run away from. As long as you stay on the move, those should not hit you. These are going to be projectiles. And oh, I dodged all of those. I will consider myself very lucky there. That was very fortunate that none of those hit me. I mean, no individual one of those hits would have killed me, but still, not having to heal from that damage is very helpful. Instead of, I'm just going to end the fight here. There we go. All right. Instead of running around some more to dodge that attack, I just wanted to get the kill. So there we go. There we have it. Elden Beast is defeated. We get the Elden Remembrance as well as a cool 500,000 runes for defeating both of those bosses, which is quite difficult to do back to back. Okay, so here we are at the end of the game. I'm going to go ahead and unlock this Site of Grace. A couple things you can do after leveling up. So this remembrance that we just got, I will say, is you can get a weapon from it. I forget what it's called. Oh, the name escapes me, but it's a great sword type weapon. It has a special attack. If you want to do some farming right now, in case you want to go to New Game Plus and beyond, you can get that weapon. And if you go to Mogwin's Palace, this Site of Grace right here, and there's a bunch of those enemies that are lined up on this ramp, you can use that projectile, the special move of that sword you can get from the Elden Beast Remembrance, and you kill them all in one hit, and you farm an insane amount of runes. It's even quicker than the bird method that I showed y'all earlier. Just wanted to point that out in case you guys want to farm before New Game Plus or doing whatever else you want to do. But this is the end, guys. This is the end. So we're going to get the Platinum Trophy here. There's actually, though, the trick is that there are 3 endings that we have to trigger for the Platinum. The first ending that we're going to trigger is the one that you get from doing Ranni's side quest, and that is if you summon Ranni here. The second ending that we're going to get is just the default ending just by talking to this statue, the Fractured Marika. And then the third ending we're going to get is the Frenzied Flame ending. Now, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to create a backup save. And so I'm going to show you how to do that on PS3. I'm assuming there's a way to do this on Xbox and PC as well, but I'm not 100% sure how that works. But on PS5, this is how you do it. And you want to do it, you want to create your backup save right here, and you will need a PS Plus account to do it, unfortunately. But to do it, what you got to do, quit out of the game, and then you want to go to the main menu. And then you just pretty much press the start menu button here, and you can go to upload, download, save data. And so what you want to do is you want to upload this state of the game before triggering any of the endings. So make sure you create an upload here, and it's going to close out of the game, which is fine. And we're going to watch the first ending. So create your backup, upload to the cloud, and then we're going to reopen the game. And then from there, we're going to watch the first ending, which I'm going to watch the Ranni ending first. And now, if you are doing this without creating cloud saves, meaning you'd have to do this manually, you'd have to watch one ending now, watch one ending in New Game Plus, and then watch the third ending in New Game Plus Plus. I would absolutely recommend triggering the Ranni ending first, because that ending has the most side quest requirements, takes the longest amount of time to do the requirements to trigger that ending. So do that one first, so that way you don't have to do all of those requirements in your New Game Plus. In your second game, I would recommend doing, in your New Game Plus, I would recommend doing the Frenzied Flame ending, because there are still some minor side quest requirements for that, but nothing to the extent of the Ranni quest. So I recommend doing that in your New Game Plus, and then in New Game Plus Plus, just do the default ending for your third trophy, which requires obviously no side questing, no requirements other than just getting to the end of the game. And so do that for your New Game Plus Plus. So again, if you're going to just go through the New Game cycles, do Ranni ending first, then New Game Plus, do Frenzied Flame ending, New Game Plus Plus, do default ending. In this case, since I'm backing up and reloading my saves, I'm going to do Ranni ending first, default ending second, and then Frenzied Flame ending third. So let's get started. Let's do the Ranni ending. I'm just going to skip it, and we should get our trophy, Age of Stars. Perfect. Skip. No, I do not want to begin Journey 2, which is New Game Plus. So, takes you back to Roundtable Hold, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back here to upload, download, save data. And then we're going to download. Make sure you don't hit upload again. If you hit upload again, then you overwrite your previous save, and you're not going to be able to do this. So make sure you are downloading. And this will take us back before we triggered the Ranni ending. All right, so we just downloaded our save. Gonna reopen the game, and I'm going to trigger just the default ending. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because I can do that right here without having to do anything else. For the Frenzied Flame ending, I'm actually going to have to warp back to the underground Forsaken Chapel or whatever it's called. And then actually become inflicted with the Frenzied Flame, and then have to come back here and then trigger that ending. Because as I said when we got down there the first time, once you trigger that Frenzied Flame status, you are locked into that ending unless you do a pretty lengthy side quest. So I'm just going to do Mend the Elden Ring. This is the default ending. And we got
The fallen leaves.
the Elden Lord trophy. So now we're going to go back, download our save one more time. Oops. Wrong button. There we go. Go to download. And then now we're going to do the steps required for the Frenzied Flame ending. And that will give us the trophy for that ending as well as the Platinum trophy. Now, as a bonus, because I know that not everybody watching here is going to have the ability to reload their save, whether for whatever reason, if it's just impossible to do on Xbox or PC, or if you don't have a PS Plus account. As a bonus, I'm going to do a New Game Plus and a New Game Plus Plus run to show how I would do that for the other two endings. Basically just covering the bare essentials that you need to get through the game, and then of course those requirements if needed for those other endings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to warp here to the Frenzied Flame prescription, and we are going to become Lord of the Frenzied Flame. Now to do this, you actually have to take off all of your armor. Otherwise, you can't get through this door. So take off all your armor. And now you can open the door. There's a cutscene that plays. Stuff happens, and you become burned. You see these burn marks. My eyes are glowing yellow. I've now submitted to the Frenzied Flame, and we can warp back here to the Fractured Marika. And now, instead of being able to trigger either the Ranni or the default ending, we are locked into the Frenzied Flame ending, which is the only one we have the access to trigger here. This will give us our final trophy. There we have it, Lord of the Frenzied Flame. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our Platinum trophy earned. So all achievements have been got. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it very useful to your own playthrough of Elden Ring. Hope that you now have all of the achievements. But if not, as I said, I'm going to do 2 bonus episodes, one through New Game Plus to get the Frenzied Flame ending kind of manually, and then another through New Game Plus Plus to do the default ending manually, just to show you how I'd go about doing that, just in case you're in that boat, or for whatever reason, you just want to do it that way without save scumming, which is perfectly reasonable. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. But again, thanks y'all so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for your support. Really appreciate each and every single one of you for sticking with me here. And I will catch you guys next time. So take care, everybody, and I'll see y'all around.